What's going on, everybody? My name is Halvu, and this is the Halvu Moto Vlog. Welcome. You're going to be joining me today on a quick run through downtown Sacramento to get a cheeseburger. I wanted to have a cheeseburger for lunch. I really like Burger Lounge grass-fed cheeseburgers, grass-fed burgers. They are delicious. They are a little more expensive. Definitely not a fast food burger. It's probably like a sit-down restaurant price if you get double patty and all the add-ons and fries and everything like that, but it's definitely worth it. As you can see, I didn't put my foot down when I was waiting for the garage to open. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Maybe rewind if you want to see it. But I've gotten pretty good at balancing this bike, and I'm not going to put my foot down at all on this ride until I get there. So that requires blowing through these stop signs on Riverfront Street. But if I actually did have to come to a complete stop sign, I could definitely balance it because I've gotten really good at it. And as I said, this bike is so easy, so light, so nimble. The handlebars are so friendly that it's not a problem, guys. And for those of you worried about seat height, don't worry about it. It's not a necessity to be able to flat foot your bike and straddle it evenly. It's just not, especially a bike like this. Maybe for like a Goldwing or something like that. Yeah, if you can't do that, you're probably going to run into some trouble, right? Because it's just so heavy. But a bike like this, it's so light. It's so much like a bicycle that you can just lean on one side and just flat foot one side and just use the clutch and the brakes and throttle to get you where you want to go. Right? The bike will stand up even if you're in the friction zone, giving it a tiny bit of throttle. It's so easy, guys. Just practice like I have, and you'll just be doing silly stuff like this. Just seeing how slow you can go on the bike and seeing how long you can balance before you need to put your foot down. Luckily for me, there wasn't a lot of people on the road because it's so hot today. But that definitely helps having that extra room to balance the bike. But as you can see, in the city, you have the pedestrian countdowns, and you can see the yellow lights on the opposing side of the street. So you kind of know when the lights are going to change. And that really helps me in terms of balancing the bike at a stop sign or at a stop light while I'm waiting for the light to turn green. But anyways, enough about that. That's really not that interesting. Any of you guys could really do that if you just buy this motorcycle or a motorcycle like this and just realize how easy they are to maneuver. But I want to say thank you to the subscribers, mainly those of you who have been here since day one. I know most of you don't comment, most of you don't like, but there are a handful of you who I know have been here since day one, and you watch the videos as they come out every week, every month, 10, 15, 20 minutes that you're giving me of your time, your most precious asset, your most precious commodity in this life. It's not lost on me. So thank you so much for being here. And I just want to let you guys know that moving forward, I don't know where the Halvu Moto Vlog is going to go. When I have something that's gold and something that I really want to share and really have a conversation about, you can bet that I will put the time in and really kind of craft a good conversation and try to stay on topic and have good talking points. But a lot of times it's just me sitting here having diarrhea of the mouth. A lot of times it's going to be me just sharing my personal opinions. A lot of times it's going to be maybe not motorcycle related going forward because I'm quitting my job and I'm riding across the country in the Accord. As some of you may know, I sold my BRZ. I sold my sports car. I love that car more than any car I've ever owned. Very special to me. It was very hard to do that. But I'm selling a lot of things. I'm giving away a lot of things. And I'm packing up that Honda Accord to drive across the country to my parents' house in Maryland. And specifically, I'm doing that to bring my houseplant, my one and only houseplant. I have a fiddly fig, Ficus lyrata. Her name is Fiona. And I'm bringing it to the care of my parents because in this next chapter of my life, I don't plan to really be settling down. And I will probably be hopping from place to place, maybe from country to country. Who knows? I really just don't have any plans. And that's the way I want it to be. And I didn't want to give this plant back. I didn't want to give it to some nursery or anything like that. I just wanted to be in the care of my parents. I wanted to continue to thrive or have the chance to thrive in the house that I grew up in with my parents, the love and care of my parents who did raise me after all. So it's pretty crazy to spend thousands of dollars driving across the country just for a houseplant. A lot of people will think that's crazy, but for me, it was a no-brainer. There was no way that this plant was going anywhere else but besides the care of my parents. So it's going to be interesting for both of us, for both me and Fiona, the plant, to see if we can continue thriving. It's very easy, admittedly, to thrive in California. It's sunny here almost all the time. We have the best produce here. We have like the best food here. We grow food for the entire nation. Most of it is grown in California, fifth largest economy in the world. I mean, just between the culture and the weather and the scenery and the people, it's just a really great place to be. Very expensive place to be. But, a lot of people dream about California, and, it's a big part of what you think of when you think about that typical American culture, for better or for worse. Los Angeles, San Francisco, very progressive. It's crazy out here. There are shops that just sell marijuana cookies, or you can literally go in and buy a marijuana cookie. Can you do that in anywhere else in the country? Probably not, right? I mean, that sounds crazy to you guys, but literally, like, I can walk into a store and buy a marijuana cookie and walk out and eat it. And also, I can go to a farmer's market and have some of the most beautiful produce in the nation, right? Every Sunday. So I'm going to miss California. And Fiona, the plant, she's going to miss that California sun. I mean, it's full sun almost all the time. A beautiful, huge, south-facing windows in my apartment. And it's really easy for a plant to thrive in that environment. And going to Maryland where it's humid, can be rainy and snows, it's going to be a big, big change for her. But the thing I love about it is it's going to be a big change for both her and I. And we'll see if we can continue to thrive. And I know I have faith that we will, because I think it's more about mindset than anything, right? It's not the circumstances that define you. It's your mindset. If you can always find something to be grateful for, if you can always find something to be positive about, if you can always have a goal to keep pushing for, your life is going to be fine, right? You will have peace within yourself. But if you're always thinking that the circumstances define you and the amount of happiness that you can have in this life, then really you're going to have a bad time, because you think the world is happening to you, but really you are the creator of your destiny. You do not need to play this victim mindset. You can really create whatever you want in this world, and you don't have to live feeling constricted or living in fear or feeling like everyone else controls your life but you. You can really be the one that pulls life in the direction you want it to go, instead of being the helpless thing that gets pulled in all sorts of these different directions. And for me, I'm definitely fortunate enough to have my health, to have all of you, to have a family, to have a good job, to have, no debt in my name that's holding me back or anything like that. I realize that I'm in a really, really good position, but, I'm continuing to be grateful, and I'm continuing to push the envelope to see what's possible and see how I can give back to this world and do something more meaningful and really have an impact and just enjoy every moment of my life. So I'm quitting my job, guys, and just seeing what's next. I do have big news on the horizon. I don't quite want to share that yet because it involves certain things falling into place that may or may not fall into place, and I just don't want to share before that happens. So I don't know if I'm going to sell my motorcycle yet. The only thing I know for sure is I'm quitting my job on July 30th. I'm driving across the country in the Honda Accord, and I'm going to my parents' house. And then we're going to Hawaii for 2 weeks at the end of August. In the middle of August, we're going to Hawaii. And then after that, it's really going to be a big question mark. I'm just going to be jobless. I'm pretty much just going to be jobless. I'm going to be apartmentless and plantless. I won't have my plant anymore. But who knows if I have the motorcycle. I would love to come back to California. I think either way, the tentative plan is to come back to California. So if I still have my motorcycle, I will love to just be free and travel and do all the things that I couldn't really do because I, from Monday through Friday, I at least in some part had to be working for the man, right? Keeping the wheels of the state of California turning. I'm a civil servant right now. I work for the state of California, guys. So it's a little different than being in the private sector, but a 9 to 5 nonetheless, guys. I'm cashing out my pension. So this is just jumping without the parachute. There is no plan B. I've made the decision that I want to live my life a very specific, free way, and I'm going to do that. And whatever money I make, it's going to be my own. And however I spend my time is going to be, how I decide. It's just this crazy idea of freedom and fearlessness that a lot of people don't get on board with, but I'm super excited. I'm super scared. There's a little bit of anxiety there, but I'm working through that. These days have been a lot of reflecting and really doing things that I enjoy and just really enjoying my last moments in California, a place that I've really, really, truly come to love. I think it's one of the most beautiful places on earth and something real special about this place. But there's also crazy stuff like the extreme heat wave and the extreme drought and fire season and the absurdity of how much it costs to live here. There's all that too. But guys, thank you for joining me. Like I said, a really, really deep thank you, gratitude for those of you who are engaging with this channel and share your time with me week after week. And especially you guys have been here since day one. I mean, that's crazy to see how far we've come, almost at 1,000 subscribers. But here's my burger. I'm super thankful for this burger. Grass-fed, grass-finished burger with bacon. Oh my God. Delicious. Anyways, guys, big news coming up. We're riding across the country in the Honda Accord station wagon with 400,000 miles on the odometer. I did a bunch of work to it, probably about $2,000 worth of work, and I'm confident that it can get me across the country now. It has no AC though, so I sweat balls the second I get into that car. I had to buy a little fan on Amazon. I'm going to install that, like a little actual, like a desk fan that I'm just going to clip onto the visor or something. It's going to look real silly, but I'm really looking forward to that road trip. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be sharing that. Unfortunately, it's not going to be about motorcycles at all, but I think it'll be at least interesting to some of you, especially those of you who, like I said, have come back week after week for whatever reason. I don't really know why. I don't really understand it, but I thank you. And I think since I'm looking forward to this trip, recording it is going to be kind of fun for me, and just sharing a little bit of what I can on that trip is going to be fun for some of you. So thank you so much, guys. As always, I wish you happiness, I wish you health, and I wish you unlimited joy on your motorcycling journey, wherever it may take you. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon for Yosemite.